So I want you to forget everything you think you know about virtual reality. We're about to dive into a whole new world of VR experiences, the kind that make your home setup look like a cute little toy. Seriously, these aren't just games. They're actual, real-world adventures you can step into today.
Right. I mean, if your picture of VR is just being stuck with a cable in your living room, tripping over the coffee table, well, it's time for a major update. We are talking about something on a completely different level of immersion, something way, way bigger. The magic ingredient here is something called location-based VR, or LBVR for short. The best way to think about it is like this. It's the difference between watching a movie on your TV versus seeing it in a real IMAX theater. At home, you're usually by yourself in a pretty small space. But with LBVR, you're in these social, multiplayer adventures inside massive, warehouse-sized arenas, totally free to physically run around. And that, my friends, is the jump from good immersion to total immersion.
So, where can you actually go to have one of these incredible experiences? Well, think of this as your personal guide to the major players who are building this new world of entertainment. Let's get into it. Okay, so right now, the market is really dominated by three big names, and each one offers a totally different flavor of adventure. If you're into action-packed combat, you've got Zero Latency. If you want something more like a cinematic team mission, there's Sandbox VR. And for a truly story-driven exploration, you're going to look at Dreamscape. Let's break down what makes each one so unique. First up, let's talk about Zero Latency. These guys, coming all the way from Melbourne, Australia, are pretty much the undisputed pioneers of this whole large-scale, free-roam VR thing. They really kicked it all off. And when I say they're a powerhouse, I am not kidding. I mean, this number right here kind of says it all. With over 150 venues in more than 30 countries, Zero Latency runs the single largest free-roam VR network on the entire planet. It's massive. So what's their secret sauce? Well, their main strategy is partnering up with these gigantic gaming brands. You're not just playing some generic shooter. Oh no. You are physically walking through the streets of Cyberpunk 2077, you're trying to survive the jungles of Far Cry, or you're suiting up as a space marine in the Warhammer universe. It's basically a thrill seeker's paradise. All right, next up is Sandbox VR, and they take a completely different approach. Their whole focus is on creating this premium, almost movie-like experience that's really designed to be shared with your friends. And here's where they really shine. Exclusive partnerships with huge entertainment brands, especially Netflix. You can literally become a test subject in the world of Stranger Things or a contestant in Squid Game virtuals. These aren't just games, they're more like interactive episodes of your favorite shows. It's so cool. Now here's the genius part of their marketing. It's so clever. After every single session, Sandbox actually creates a mixed reality highlight reel starring you and your friends. It's like a personalized movie trailer of your adventure. And of course, this is super shareable on social media, which has been a huge reason why they've gotten so popular. And our final big operator is Dreamscape Immersive. So, while Zero Latency gives you action and Sandbox gives you that social cinema vibe, Dreamscape is all about the story. And that focus makes perfect sense when you find out they're backed by Hollywood heavyweights like Steven Spielberg. Dreamscape's journey has been really fascinating to watch. They launched with all this massive industry buzz, but they've recently kind of shifted their strategy. They closed most of their US spots to focus on these really successful international partnerships, especially in places like Riyadh. It shows a smart pivot towards markets with a huge appetite for new, premium, story-first entertainment. So the big question is, how do they pull all of this off? I mean, what makes it so different? It's not just about a better headset, it's a whole ecosystem of tech that's designed for one thing: total, absolute immersion. Okay, the biggest game changer, hands down, is free roam VR. This means you're completely wireless, no tethers. You can physically walk, jog, even duck across a huge open space that is mapped perfectly one-to-one with the virtual world you're seeing. So forget using joysticks or teleporting around. In these places, your body is the controller. And then you've got haptic feedback, which adds this incredible layer of physical feeling. A lot of these experiences will suit you up in a special vest that uses vibrations and even thermal effects to simulate sensations. So you can actually feel the impact of a laser blast, or the rumble of an earthquake, or even the heat from a dragon's breath. It just adds this powerful sense of believability. And what ties it all together is full body tracking. With sensors on your hands and your feet, the system creates a complete digital avatar of you inside the game. This is what lets you see your friends, wave to them, give them a high five, and coordinate your movements just like you would in real life. This is the tech that makes these experiences so deeply social.
Now, it's not just these standalone, dedicated venues that are getting in on the action. Your classic, traditional theme parks have also been experimenting with VR for years now. One of the coolest applications has been something called hybrid VR coasters. The idea is simple, but honestly, it's brilliant. You take a roller coaster that already exists, you have all the riders wear VR headsets, and suddenly you're not just on a metal track. You're flying through an underwater city or battling aliens in space, with all the physical G-forces from the coaster perfectly synced to the visuals. But, as you can probably imagine, actually putting this into practice has come with some pretty serious real-world challenges. It's not as simple as it sounds. Yeah, just strapping VR headsets onto a roller coaster creates some major logistical headaches. I mean, first, you have throughput. You have to get every single rider fitted with a headset, and that slows the line down a lot. Then you have the hygiene issue, which is obvious, and the super high cost of maintaining all that sensitive electronic gear. These problems have actually caused some parks that were really excited about it at first to just remove the VR altogether. So even with those growing pains, location-based VR isn't just surviving. It really looks like it's on the verge of a massive expansion. If you want to know where this is all going, just follow the money. The location-based VR market is projected to grow to a mind-blowing $36.4 billion by 2030. That tells you this isn't just some niche hobby. It's a fundamental shift in how we think about entertainment. And it's not just us saying that. Industry analysts are all over this. A recent market analysis pointed out that, unlike the home VR market, the location-based side has shown remarkable resilience. It's becoming a key piece of what's called experiential retail, giving people a really compelling reason to get off the couch, go out, and be social again. So the next time you're looking for something new to do, just remember that there are entire worlds out there just waiting for you to explore, probably right in your own city. We've shown you the map, you know the tech, so the only question left is, what's your next adventure going to be? Which one will you choose first?